Hey students, welcome to this tutorial. We're going to look at using Photopea, which is an online free photo editing piece of software. It's a lot like Photoshop, so having used Photoshop before in class, you may be familiar with this. Okay, so although you've taken your meticulous photography and you've thought a lot about your background and your lighting, editing it in a piece of software like this is going to improve those images. So even if you've taken it on a white background, when you open the image, it might look a bit grey. So we're going to look at how to improve your photos using Photopea. So I'm going to come up to here and going to go to File and Open. I'm going to open one of the photos that I have taken for meticulous photography. So I'm opening this one up and I actually thought I've got a nice white background, but when it comes in, look how grey it looks. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to crop down the image. So if you come to this side here and click on the crop tool, I'm going to use this to crop more closely into my image. And I'm just going to click on the tick there and I'm happy with that. The next thing we're going to do, and I want you to do this with every one of your meticulous photographs, is the first adjustment we're going to do is to the brightness and contrast. And this is going to really clean up your image. So across on the right hand side here, you're going to come to your layers palette. And down the bottom, we've got something called the adjustment layers. Now we're going to add a series of these and look at what they do to your image. But the first one I want you to add is the brightness and contrast. As you add this, you'll see that it adds as a layer above your image in this palette. And also we've got a set of controls. So we're just going to up the brightness. Now, if you go too far, you lose too much detail. So you've got to be careful about how far you go up. And again, with the contrast. So I'm kind of happy that it's bleached the background out a bit and it looks a lot whiter. So I'm happy with that for now. So the next thing I'm going to add is another adjustment called vibrance. Now, this is going to help me put back some of the colour into the image. So can you see I'm putting across my vibrance, I'm putting across my saturation, and that is making the image a lot more bright. So I'm really happy with that image. Once you're happy with the adjustments that you've made, you're going to come up to here and you're going to go File, Export as JPEG, and you are going to click Save. And look down here, it saved it into your Downloads folder. So you are going to do that for all your images. Now I'm just going to show you a couple more things that are going to help you. So I'm going to shut this one down, and that's okay. And we're going to go in File and open up a new image. So the next image I'm going to look at is one that has a black background, and we're going to look at how we deal with a black background differently. So I'm going to open that up, and you can see here that what I thought was a black background is really quite grey. So again, I'm going to crop this down. I'm using the crop tool, tick in OK, and then again we are going to come down to here and we are going to add the brightness and contrast and see what difference that makes. So if I go all the way up, I'm losing my black background, but if I increase the contrast and reduce that darkness, the brightness, so it goes darker, you can see that we're starting to get a black background. Now that's okay, but it is still a bit light in this top area. So what I'm going to introduce you to is a new tool. The tool is called the Dodge and Burn tools, and it's down in the bottom here. Now the Dodge tool makes things brighter and lighter, and the Burn tool makes things darker. So we're going to click on the Burn tool. I'm going to come up here and check my paintbrush. Now I want my paintbrush to be 0% hardness because I want it nice and fluffy and soft. And I'm going to increase the size of my brush. Okay. Now you can increase the size of your brush if you use square brackets on your keyboard. What happens here now is as I brush over, you see that came up with an error? This layer is not editable. That's because I've made the mistake. I'm trying to paint this on here, and actually I want to be on that background image. So the software is really clever telling me what my mistakes are. So as I paint over here, you can see that that is just making those bits darker. Okay, so that's the dodge tool. Burn would have the opposite, that is the burn tool. The dodge would be opposite. That would make your white backgrounds whiter. Okay, so there's a tool for you to use. I'm not going to do it all now. Again, once you were finished, you would come down to here, File, Export as a JPEG. Okay, so that's the tutorial. I want you to go and try all that on all your meticulous photographs so you improve them and make them bright and punchy.